Oops. I hit it harder. I'm still hitting it harder. I'm a golfer. Hey, do you have issues with impact and wondering why we're just banging the shit out of this big yellow blob? Stay tuned, you'll find out why. All right, we're back with the beginner golf series. We just kind of did stupid things there for a little while.
Hello, beginners.
Fun to beat the shit out of big bags.
Smack it.
So in case you're wondering, that was called an impact bag. We'll try to talk about that a little bit more here in a little bit. But if you have not seen the sequencing as well as the downswing, those two videos are separate, but they kind of go hand in hand. Make sure to go back and watch those. To be honest with you, if you've watched none of these and you've just found this video, I would recommend going back.
I roll back and check out some of the first ones. It'll make a lot more sense. Probably.
Yep, because we're not going to talk about anything besides impact. So, quick little recap, Aaron. Where did we leave off when we were talking about the downswing?
So downswing, we left off that as you're coming into it, we've got the butt of the club pointed outside our golf ball. We're rotating our body so that when we come in before impact, our hips are open, shoulders are relatively square, maybe even a little bit closed, working us to
the moment of truth.
That spot down there.
Whacking the shit out of a little white golf ball.
Whack-a-rooney.
Or red or whatever color. So, real briefly, let's talk about how you should look at impact versus how most people think they look at impact, because there's normally with most amateurs and beginners, there's a very large difference between those two things. Most beginners, when I ask this question, what do you think you look like at impact? And I'll say, just set up what you think you look like at impact. They, for the most part, go right back to where they were at setup with maybe a little more weight on the left side. That's about it. So their hands, if you don't mind, real quick, since you're on camera. Their hands, so that's a setup position, impact position. If they move their hands that forward, that's a small miracle. Their hands are normally right in line. Now, Aaron, do me a favor. Show me where you should be at impact. Yeah. You can see how much his hips are open, his chest is turned out now, how far forward his hands are over the club head. So, I refer to impact a lot as the race. What's happening? Don't hit me, please. Yep, right there.
Use guys.
Use GoPro guys.
Use GoPros guys.
So,
what you got?
Let's talk a little bit about how we get that. Now, if you happen to have an impact bag laying around, it's a phenomenal tool. We don't have one here unless you got a 2x4 laying around.
No couch pillows. You use couch pillow.
That too. But the impact bag, what we were doing before, essentially all it is, you can use couch pillows. I don't recommend using something thin, especially if you're inside your house. But the idea is that the front of that impact bag is going to be where you hit the ball, and it's going to hold your club to force your entire
body to
force your entire here, and the club's not. Don't swing full swing.
Yes.
It's a very good product, and I'm sure it's very durable. But if you've a guy and you're a little larger, like maybe me and Aaron, it'll hurt your golf club, it'll hit your hands, and it'll probably break the bag. So it's meant to be swung at about half speed and then stopped. So the idea here is that we're going to train our body. Do it one more time for me and hold it.
Whoops.
Yikes. Start that whole sequence over again. The idea is that when we hit impact, we are training our body to get in the correct position. Now, if you're curious about what happens after this, that's the next video. Don't worry about that. So, obviously the impact bag is great. What if you don't have an impact bag?
Well, you can put, like Ryan said, he asked about a 2x4. So you can set a 2x4 down so that you have something kind of square to come into when you look at that club face. But the whole deal, like he's saying, is to make sure that no matter what level you're at or any of that stuff, you have got to get your hips a little bit open and your shoulders relatively square or a little bit closed. You don't have to, but it's very ideal to, because what ends up happening is whenever you come to impact and we go right here and I don't turn my hips, my hands keep coming through, we end up with a lot of this stuff.
Right.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Have-A-Camp.
Yep, and if you're wondering why your golf ball goes right and you're a beginner, this is probably one of the biggest reasons.
Kind of stuff right there. No, we need to be...
Yep, turn and rotate.
Turn through it. Turn through it. Get that belt buckle turning.
Yep. Yeah. If you have a perpendicular line coming off your golf ball straight in front of you, and you think of your target line, there's a 45-degree angle in there. That's where your belt buckle should really be pointed at impact, roughly. I mean, some people are going to rotate more than others. But if you look at Aaron, where Aaron's belt buckle is there, he's on about a 45-degree angle. For us, that's the right corner of the screen in GoPro world.
Yeah, we're not looking to be. And if you can get there, great. The old Cam Champ.
Yep. Yikes.
It's like looks like it's parallel with his target line whenever he comes through it.
That's just lower back muscles. That's all it is. If you want them left. So let's talk a little bit about impact, right? So obviously, this whole thing's been impact, but we've been talking about the golf swing at impact. Let's talk about the club head at impact.
Yep.
What happens if you're hitting it way out here on the toe? Like if you just keep clanking them off the end of the golf club? Like are you too close to the ball? Is it something as simple as that sometimes?
Could be as simple as too far away from it.
Yep.
Could be you
cutting across it,
pulling your hands, that kind
in
of stuff.
which case, see our downswing drill, because there's some drills in there to fix that.
Going through there.
Yep.
Yeah. And, you know, lots of times we see it too whenever you're not getting that rotation of your hips and you're kind of doing this little swipey thing right there.
So in addition to that, the exact same can happen if you're hitting it towards the heel or the cardinal sin rule we don't talk about, the El Josels. This little section of the golf club, that circular, you're not supposed to hit that.
No, we want to hit the flat part, not the round part.
Yeah, please don't actually demonstrate that. I'm where I don't want to be.
I never shank it that bad.
But obviously, if you're hitting those left and right a little bit, it could just be your own positioning. Another very good, if you don't know, another great way, it's a little different for us in here. Where'd our tees go, Aaron? There they are.
Right back there.
So, would be to get a couple of tees. This is going to be a GoPro camera setup for me. And you just want to put the tees a little bit on both sides. Now, this tee here, if you're using an actual tee, put it on an angle for this. And that's going to give you an idea. It's kind of like a gate drill when you're putting. And then just hit some shots. Go ahead and hit one, Aaron. Purposely toe it or something. Miss it. So as you can see, Aaron heeled it. Or yeah, I guess you
toe
toed
ball.
it. I'm sorry.
Toe ball. I heeled the tee.
Towed it pretty good, but he hit the tee.
Oh,
so that can tell you real fast.
I almost missed that golf ball. It was so far. Oh.
Okay. Focus up.
A scratch on the toe.
So by doing this, you're kind of teaching yourself, okay, now I can't hit those tees, right? That might be a little wide, but that's okay.
Yeah, but generally, I mean, that's what I would have done on that last shot.
Right, so you connected with that tee. So if you notice you hit it, if you look at your impacts too, you're probably going to see that impact on your face if you had like some baby powder or something on there to see the impact. But the other thing that I like to use this for too is if you're just out there working on training and you seem to not have a whole lot of consistency toe to heel and you want to hit the center more, the more tight you get that, you're kind of training your body to put the golf club back in one spot because you're purposely trying not to hit the tees. The golf ball just happens to get in the way. That tee might be a little too tall on the inside for you, but the idea here would be to not.
Yeah, it's too tall. I was trying to see how upright I could go.
That's why I say put that last tee on an angle, because the angle of the shaft, you're not trying to screw yourself over completely. Yeah. I mean, as a beginner, but I like the crap out of that drill. Just for beginners, because it really helps you deliver the golf ball or the golf club back to the golf ball in somewhat of a consistent manner, or know exactly what you're doing when you're not.
Gives you quick feedback, because that's another thing that, especially go back to video number 1, we talked about like game improvement irons and that kind of stuff. Like you don't, not all of them, that's a general statement, but lots of times you don't have that feel in the club face. They all just kind of feel kind of the same. I mean, obviously if you pure one, you're like, ooh, that felt really good. But the toe heel shots, they all just kind of feel the same. This, if you're sitting there going, well, I really have no idea where I'm hitting that golf ball, at least you can set that up and you can get some pretty quick feedback coming through there. Absolutely.
Yep. You got any more impact drills?
Yeah, I do. I like the dragging the stick.
Oh yeah,
this, we can kind of put these two together. There's kind of two of them. No, leave those. That's good. So we've been talking about getting rotation through hips, shoulders, all these kinds of things. So take your handy dandy alignment stick that in video number 1, I believe we told you to go to Home Depot and buy it. Go back and rewatch that if you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Or watch a bunch of ads. I'll send you half the ad revenue and you can go buy it.
Yeah. So as you're coming down, we're coming in here, and now I'm going to keep rotating my body, but let that stick drag until it comes off the ground as long as possible. Absolutely. Now don't cheat yourself and hold it up here so that you can whoa, here we go.
No,
like give it
normal length of
give it normal 7-iron setup right here. Kind of watching that downswing a little bit. Downswing coming in, and then hips turn, shoulders are staying over there. Let it drag through there. So that's a good drag drill. And then the other one was whenever we talk about sequencing a little bit, but really about kind of releasing the club, impact to release and swing speeds and all these things like that, as simple as we can get. You would like to hear the whip, the whoosh, the air sound moving around the stick. I don't know what you call it. But I want that sound to happen if that would be my golf ball where I'm setting up at. There we go. I want to hear that sound out here after the golf ball. I do not want to hear, if you're setting up right here and you hear that happening back in this area in the back of your swing, you are, number one, your tempo and timing is probably really bad, but you're possibly casting it or doing some wild stuff. So we always want to be gaining speed, gaining speed, gaining speed, and then maybe a thought that the fastest part of my club speed is maybe a foot in front of the golf ball. So I'm going to hear, and then in doing that, I'm kind of holding off, doing the same kind of thing that I'm doing here, holding that off as I come through, and I hear that whipping out in front of the golf ball, not behind it. Speed in front, not in the back.
Yep.
That's what I got.
Also, I feel like there's a UFO landing in the bays right now.
Yeah. There's the lights coming on and off back there.
BJ just turned this way and went boom right in my face. So if you're not curious, the light directly above us is very bright. Very bright.
Extremely.
And they're installing more of them, and one just got shined in my eyeballs. So.
Brightness. Let there be light.
All right, so we have so many drills with impact. There are probably more drills for impact than there are any other section of the golf swing.
Impact and takeaway.
Yeah, because it's honestly, it's two of the most important ones. So hopefully that wasn't too much information, or too much information if you want to say it correctly, Ryan. Hopefully that wasn't too much information. If you have questions or if you don't understand what we said, because I could maybe understand how that might be a little bit too much, ask us. Comments below. We're going to shoot a few weeks after all the videos have been up. We're going to get back together and have one just big recap video and answer all the questions on video that we get that we don't feel like we might be able to describe through the typing of the typing of the typings.
Yeah. Very,
I'm not as literally...
I'm not as good. I'm very short when it comes to typing. I'm like, good, bad, yes, no.
The best part is you normally use one letter for all those words. That's what makes it really hard to understand.
K, JK.
Thumbs up.
Dino.
You say Vino?
Dino, don't know.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought we were talking about wine again. Anyway, so next video and last video for the beginner series, if you don't include the recap video.
Correct. Follow through.
Yep.
How do we get from here to the top?
Tiger or Jack, which is the better follow through?
Rory.
Our next video is going to be
follow through. Getting that club all the way around and let's go walk and hit the next shot. Yeah.
We should probably do anger management after that.
Yeah, it's going to be no four-letter words after the follow through. That's going to be the number one key for you after follow through is not to drop an F-bomb.
What the fuck? All right, guys. Again, if you have not subscribed to the channels, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're both posting the beginner series once a week, along with another video at the end. We both do 2 videos a week. So, and we're looking for that next series, essentially. So if you have more advanced questions, maybe we're talking maybe impact in depth.
Yeah. I mean, if you want us to go in, like he said, in depth more on stuff, let us know. We have no idea what you're thinking until you tell us what you're thinking. Thank you all for checking in. We'll see you all next time.
See ya.